Hello everyone, how are you all? I am Sindhu and welcome to my channel I Play Chess. In this video, we are going to learn about a new move called castling. Now, castling is actually a special move. Why is it special? Because it is the only move in chess where you are going to move two pieces in a single move. That is the king and a rook. Either this rook or this rook. Now, how do you move them? The king always goes two squares towards the rook, and then the rook jumps over the king and sits beside the king. Let me show you how that looks. So, the king moves two squares towards the rook, and then the rook jumps and sits beside the king. How will you do the castling on the left side? It's again same. The king moves two squares towards the rook. The rook then jumps and sits beside the king. And this is how it looks. Let's see how black will do the castling. Again, king moves two squares towards the rook, and the rook jumps over the king and sits beside it. Or if black wants to castle on the left side, then the king moves two squares towards the rook, and the rook jumps over the king and sits beside the king. Can you show how to castle?
Yes, means we should put this king here, and we should put this rook here. And also we should put this here, and we should put this here.
Good job.
Go.
Now that you learnt castling, you must be all excited to do castling in your games. But wait, there are certain rules that you need to learn before you make the move castling. Let's look at those rules. The first rule says that if either of the king or the rook had already made a move earlier, then castling is not allowed. Let's say white moved his rook, then black played his move. Now white realizes that, oh no, I had to do castling but I forgot and moved my rook away. Let me put my rook back. After black's move, if white tries to do castling, then it becomes an illegal move. Why? Because this rook had already moved once. Going back to the original position, if white moved the king, then black played a move. White thought, let me put my king back to the original square and then do castling. Black played a move. Now white tries to do castling. It's again not allowed. It's not allowed on the left side either. Both are illegal moves because the king had already moved once and came back. In such cases, castling is an illegal move. The second rule says that when the king is in check, you cannot castle. See this position? Black rook is giving a check to the white king. Now if white tries to castle, it will not allow castling. Well, this is an online board, so it will not even allow you to do the castle. But when you are playing on a real board, if at all you put the king here and the rook beside it, then your opponent will say that you are making an illegal move because your king is right now in check. And when the king is in check, castling is illegal. The third rule of castling says that the king should not cross a check while castling. What does that mean? Observe this position. This black queen is controlling this square F1, isn't it? So, if white tries to castle by crossing this check, then it's an illegal move. What about on the left side? Is white going to cross any check while moving to the left? No. So, castling on the left is allowed. But castling on the right side is not allowed because the queen will give a check to the king on f1 while the king is moving from here to here. The next rule says that the king should not land in check with castling. Look at this position. If the white king moves 2 squares to the right side to do the castling, then it's an illegal move because the square g1 is controlled by the black knight. Now, with castling, if a king lands on a square where it's going to be checked, then such a castling is not allowed. The fifth rule of castling says that the path between the king and the rook should be empty. Out of these two paths, which path is empty? The left one or the right one? The right side is empty. So white king can go ahead and castle on the right side. But what is happening on the left side? There is a knight sitting in between the king and the rook. So if you try to castle by putting your king here and then try to make the rook jump and sit here, it is going to be an illegal move, and illegal moves are not allowed in chess. The final rule of castling says that you have to touch the king first and then you touch the rook. In this position, if black wants to do castling, he should touch the king first, move the king, then pick up the rook and put it beside the king. Instead, if black touches the rook first and moves it here, then it is going to be white's turn now. Black cannot move his king because black completed his move by moving the rook. Now white will play his move. Now you cannot take the king and put it here because king can now move only one square at a time. So always touch the king first and then touch the rook while doing castling. Pause the video, look at this position and find out who is allowed to castle the king. Is it white or black? If your answer is white is allowed to do castling, then you're right. But why is black not allowed to do the castling? The white bishop is guarding the f8 square, and if black has to do castling, the king has to cross this f8 square and go to g8. Now crossing a check to do castling is not allowed, so black cannot do castling in this position. But white's king is not crossing any check, so white can do castling. In this position, it's white's turn. Now carefully observe the position. The white's rook on a1 has never moved. The king on e1 has never moved. Now white moves rook to h1. Black moves the pawn. Now white wants to do castling. On which side is white allowed to do castling? Is it on the right side or on the left side? The answer is left side. White can do castling on the left side because the king and the rook had never moved. But this rook had moved once. So if white tries to do castling on the right side, it becomes an illegal move. Yeah, we have one more puzzle here. Find out on which side is castling allowed for white, left or right side. The answer is right side. Castling on the left side is illegal because if the king moves to c1, then it directly lands in a check. Who is giving the check? Look at this pawn. This guy sitting here is controlling this square. So you cannot take the king and put it into a square where it will directly land into a check. So castling on the left is illegal. Castling on the right side is a legal move. Alright, one final puzzle on castling. Look at this and find out on which side is black allowed to do castling. Can black castle on the left side by moving the king here? The answer is no. Look at this guy sitting at the other end of the board, controlling the square G8. So moving the king here will directly put the king into a check. So it becomes an illegal move. What about on the right side? On the right side also, castling is an illegal move because this white knight is guarding this square. The black king is not allowed to cross a check and do castling. I hope you liked this video on castling. If you have any comments or questions, please write in the comment box. Do like, share and subscribe and proudly tell your friends I play chess.